The Stompers bats provided the fireworks yesterday on the 4th of July. The problem was that one didn't count for the standings. A 14-7 victory over the Novato Knicks is nice, but now it's back to CCL action against the Alameda Merchants. Welcome into the Sonoma Stompers pregame show. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli, getting you set for what's turned into a pretty big one for Sonoma. Roman, 15-11, not where we envisioned them at the start of the week. We had dreams of 17-9, a hot week against Alameda and San Francisco. They lost to both of those teams, their last two league games. But let's talk about that Alameda game that the Stompers lost by just one run, left the bases loaded in the top of the ninth in the East Bay.
Yeah, the East Bay was not kind to the Stompers. They got the offense going early but struggled to find anything through the later innings of that ball game. There was a controversial umpire call that ultimately took a run off the board for the Stompers, one that they would come up needing in the long run. They couldn't get the bad taste out of their mouth going into the game against the Seagulls, which they also dropped at home against a struggling Seagulls team, something that we've now seen twice this season. The Seagulls win at Arnold Field. So two ugly ones. You get back yesterday against the Knicks, looking to get a big one in CCL play tonight.
Yeah, is that a nice game? Is that a nice get your mind right game after two tough losses? It doesn't count for the standings, but it's still, you come in today feeling like you're coming off a victory.
Yeah, all you can do is use that for momentum. You can't really make it a negative experience in any way. I mean, it's the 4th of July. You have the parade, a packed house at Arnold. I hear over 1,000 attendance, which is incredible for Arnold Field and the Stompers. Come into today hot off a win. A win is a win. It doesn't matter who it came against or what the circumstances was. You scored more runs. You need to go turn the page and do it again tonight.
Yeah, but two home run hitters last night. Anthony Shepler, grand slam. He's in the 7th spot. Ben Sebastiani, he had a 3-run home run. He's in the 9th spot. Connor Pulowski splits them. He's in the 8th spot. All three of those guys are under the 200 mark. Zach Pace really...
Yeah, it's three bats that have proven to be successful at times, just not super consistently. Pulowski had a hot week a couple of weeks ago. We've seen glimpses from Shepler and Sebastiani. Two of those last night, the grand slam, the 3-run home run. I mean, Sebastiani was our, 4th of July, where's number 4 Stomp Watch player of the game, and then he made the most of it, earns some extra run, and with Nick Sebastiani a little bit shaken up after that Seagulls game, he's a good bat to put in the lineup, try to get some offense out of in the lower third.
The Stompers can't buy a break injury-wise. You get Max Handren back today, but you lose Nick Sebastiani, and you lose Landon Akers. It just seems like the Stompers can't get all of their big bats in the lineup all at once, and I mean, so much is put on Colton Boardman and Max Handren at the top of the order.
Yeah, and it's been the guys like Paul Azul and McCann Levy who follow those two that have really allowed the big innings to happen for the Stompers. But Boardman at the top, he's been great. Just 12 strikeouts on the year, 12 stolen bases. I mean, how often do you see a guy have as many stolen bases as strikeouts? And 24 hits. He's been a reliable leadoff guy who goes up, sees some pitches, puts the ball in play, gets the offense started. And then Max Handren, a big return from him. 5 RBIs and 8 hits in his very limited time with the Stompers. That's just 5 games. An RBI a game and over a hit a game. Need a big one from him in the 2 spot.
Yeah, I think the 5 and 6 spots are my keys to this lineup. That's Cam Hageman and Trent Keys. Trent has a hit in his last 3 games. His OPS is now 847 and keeps on climbing. Also a guy, he has more hit by pitches than strikeouts, more walks than strikeouts. That guy just gets on base seemingly every single time he comes up. Cam Hageman had a couple hits yesterday. He's hitting .318 in what's been a hot start for him in Sonoma. He's in center field tonight. I think those two are going to be big. But I'm going to ask you about the pitching. Nick Santavanez didn't have it last time out against Walnut Creek, but was so good the 3 starts prior to that.
Yeah, Santavanez didn't have the command. You talked to Zach Pace before this one, and that was his concern. He just couldn't quite control his stuff. Needs to go back and just focus on throwing strikes tonight. This is an Alameda team that has a disciplined approach, and they're just a talented group of bats. Go in there with your best stuff, nothing but confidence, and ultimately go get your team a great start in hopes of getting a win.
Yeah, now we move to Roman's radar to close out the pregame shows. We'll get started just around 6:10. It seems like today, and we'll start with the home team. Your Stomp Watch player yesterday, Ben Sebastiani, had a 3-run home run. Who is it today?
You know, it's tough. There's some big names there. Trent Keys, you mentioned, gets on base a lot, on a bit of a hot hitting streak. I'm going to go with Cam Hegeman. We saw a couple singles from him yesterday, a couple singles the day before. He was hitting higher in the lineup in those two, but needs to have a successful day in the 5 spot.
Yeah, now we move to our look behind enemy lines, and the Alameda Merchants, a team that's taken 3 out of the 4 meetings this season.
Yeah, the Merchants, there's a lot of options here. It's a really solid lineup. I'm going to go with Emmett Finney down in the 5-hole. He's got Aiden Tacos making his debut in front of him. Finney just needs to go up there, have some good approaches. You never know what the guy in front of you is going to do, but what he needs to do is hunt strikes, put the ball in play. We saw him have a good day on Tuesday, needs another big one today.
Yeah, Finney, a CCL lifer, now his 3rd team in as many years for Alameda. He played for Menlo Park last year, Walnut Creek the year before that. Nick Santavanez, he's the Stomper stopper. He's pitched after a loss seemingly every single time he's gone out there, and the Stompers have won all 4 times that he's pitched. He looks to continue that trend, rolling against the first place Merchants when we come back for first pitch between Sonoma and Alameda on the Sonoma Stompers broadcast network. The Stomper ace takes the mound with Sonoma in desperate need of a league victory against the first place Alameda Merchants. They sit atop the CCL North, but Nick Santavanez has something to say about that today. The new Cal State Fullerton commit trades in his California State University Northridge jersey for one of the Fullerton Titans. He's 6'3", 195 pounds. The 19-year-old's from Orange, California. The righty in 4 starts has a 3-0 record, a 2.25 earned run average. In 16 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts and 10 walks. 5 of those walks were last time out against Walnut Creek. 2 innings pitched, 5 walks, 4 runs. Not what Nick wanted. He looks to turn that around today against a Merchants lineup as announced by TC Fairfield. The center fielder Dominic Nahar leads off, followed by the third baseman Cy Turner and the left fielder Jackson Nystrom. The right fielder Aiden Tackless cleans it up, and then the first baseman Emmett Finney and the DH Angelo Luna. The catcher Mateo Mendoza hits in the 7th position. The shortstop Jace Jeremiah hits 8th, and Caleb Latimer hits in the 9th spot. Nick Santavanez, a tall right-handed pitcher. Dominic Nahar, a righty out of Cal State East Bay. The right-on-right battle starts the evening, and it misses high for ball 1. 6:10 the first pitch. It's 74 degrees. Just a beautiful evening here in Sonoma County. The 1-0 is a called strike by Dylan Brewster, the home plate umpire. He's helped by Ron Mattery and Eric Gurney down the third base line. Nahar with his back elbow pointed all the way up towards the sky almost. Swings and misses 1-2. An odd batting stance from the leadoff hitter. His front elbows almost covering his face and his back elbows pointing sort of directly towards us, set up right behind home.
And a very high hands batting stance.
1-2. He drops those hands and just throws the bat head at it and fouls it back. 1-2. It must be, you have to load really early and be ready to go when your hands start that high.
Yeah, and with the high hands, you typically try to avoid hitting the ball really high up in the air. As must be a line drive, ground ball kind of hitter.
He swings and misses. Nick Santavanez gets a strikeout of Dominic Nahar on the slider. And that's out number 1. It's a fastball, it's a slider, and it's a changeup. That slider sits around 78 miles an hour. That one came in at 80. His fastball tops out around 92, and it sits at an even 90 on our TrackMan system. Now he'll have to face his first lefty, and that's Cy Turner. The Memphis Tiger awaits the first pitch. And he cuts and misses. That's the slider again. That's a real tough pitch to hit if you're a left-handed hitter, and it's spinning the way Nick wants it to.
Yeah, in command of his stuff. Got it all going early.
That's the fastball, 89, 0-2. Nick Santavanez in 2 out of his 4 starts has struck out 7 of the first 9 hitters in the lineup. That is just a mind-boggling stat. 0-2 pitch, and he struck out the first 2 tonight. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Cy Turner. Back to the dugout. He goes on the changeup.
And this is exactly what we said. Santavanez needs to come into this one, forget about the last one against Walnut Creek, throw strikes, pitch with your stuff confidently. He's done that through 2.
Now he has to deal with Jackson Nystrom, a .333 hitter. The OPS over 1,000. First pitch to him, sent the other way and foul down the right field line, and that's a good time to set up a Stomper defensive alignment. Ben Sebastiani gets the start in left field. He had a 3-run home run. The problem is that only counts for the out-of-league stats. Cam Hegeman in center, and Trent Keys is in right. Anthony Shepler at third, Colton Boardman at shortstop, McCann Libby at second, Paul Lazul at first. And that one's hit in between Lazul and Libby, but the first baseman throws to the pitcher, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Nick Santavanez, and a nice play on the backhand side by Paul Lazul. We head to the last of the first scoreless on the Sonoma Stompers broadcast network. Saturday night baseball in the North Bay between the Merchants and the Stompers. Alameda did not score in the top of the first, and here's the Stomper lineup that'll try and grab a lead early. The shortstop, Colton Boardman, in the leadoff position. Max Handren, Mad Max, is back in the lineup. He's DHing. The first baseman, Paul Lazul, hits third, and the second baseman, McCann Libby, hits fourth. The center fielder, Cam Hegeman, in the 5 spot, followed by Trent Keys. He's in right field today. We've all seen him at first base. The third baseman, Anthony Shepler, grand slam yesterday, looking to build on that in league action. The catcher is Connor Pulaski in the 8th spot, and Ben Sebastiani hits 9. He's in left field, and they'll go up against a soft-throwing right-hander, Armando Murillo, coming off surgery on his arm. 6 foot, 210 pounds, 19-year-old, hails from Livermore, California. He's made 2 starts, 3 appearances total this summer. A 1-0 record, a 3.60 ERA, but that's just 10 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts and 4 walks. He doesn't throw hard, which is nice for the Stompers, but he doesn't walk guys, and it seems like Sonoma builds a lot of rallies on patient approach walks. They're going to get pitches to hit. They're not going to be all too quick. They're just going to have to hit them today.
Yeah, and if you're going off the stats alone, the 10 innings pitched, the 4 walks, that means the Stompers might get 1 or 2, but that's well less what the magic number, if we had that on hand, would be. The Stompers just need to find ways to put the ball in play, live in the gaps, have an aggressive offensive approach tonight on an arm that is likely going to give you a lot of contact, loves to get the ground ball.
Boardman, a guy that walks a lot, 15 walks to just 12 strikeouts, and he is really what you like out of a leadoff hitter. He sees a lot of pitches. The Stompers start this lineup with 3 consecutive left-handed hitters. It'll be Boardman, Handren, and Lazul going to work against Murillo here in the first inning. And the righty pitches. Boardman takes low outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Very pleasant evening here in Sonoma. The Stompers and the Merchants playing for the 5th time here in 2025. 1-0. Colton takes outside again. 2-0. Dylan Brewster calling the balls and strikes. Colton, middle of the box. We see most of the guys set up back of the box. They got the scouting report that it's not going to be coming too quick. That one's 79 over the outside corner with a fastball. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Boardman, a 276 hitter, but he gets on base at a 438 clip. 2-1 home, up and outside, 3-1. Looking to draw his 16th walk. Colton had the off day yesterday, 4th of July victory for Sonoma, but it's a league action. He's going to be the shortstop down the home stretch for the Stomps. 3-1 pitch, inside ball 4. And is that a opposing team announcer jinx? I mean, we said he didn't walk, and Colton Boardman takes the free pass to open up the ball game.
And I'll take that every day, especially with Max Handren back in the lineup today. That's a great leadoff approach.
Max Handren getting his first at-bat since June 19th. He's been battling a right labrum injury, and Murillo changes his work completely now out of his stretch. Handren swings for his pitch and yanks it foul past Jacoby Heyer, the first base coach. Dave Hoax over at third. Watch Murillo, now that he's out of the stretch, he drops that arm limp with the glove hand on the front hip. It's Craig Kimbrell-esque, almost, if the glove was over the face.
Very open stance. The glove really the only thing missing.
Comes set, delivers to Handren. Called strike, outside edge, 77 miles an hour. Handren finished up a very long collegiate career last season for the Cal Bears. St. Bonaventure College of Marin found a home out in Berkeley. He has to battle 0-2, and he bounces it to first. Glove by Finney. They'll go to second for 1. The relay is in time. It goes 3-6-3.
And a great piece of defense there. Finney to Jeremiah, back to Finney. That's a big one to erase a leadoff walk that, I mean, no one here was really expecting.
Brings up Paul Lazul, the 3rd consecutive lefty against Murillo. Armando Murillo back out of the windup Kick steals. Lazul swings and misses. Fooled very badly on a breaking ball in the dirt. That one started below the zone and ended up in the dirt. A slider out of the right hand of Murillo. Pitch. One ball, one strike to Lazul. 222 hitter. Swings and misses. That's the slider again. Lazul 2 doubles, a home run, 9 driven in. Looking to keep this, re-spark the rally, I guess, after the leadoff walk was erased. The pitch. Checked his swing. That time it was a slider once more, and the count's 2-2.
Lazul, 12 walks on the year as well. Has been known to put together a good AB, see some pitches, something he needs to do to extend the bottom of the first.
Right on left. Murillo to Lazul. That one's low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Changeup. Lazul, though, a guy with a little bit of swing and miss in him as well. He's K'd 17 times. Murillo shakes off Mendoza twice. Now they agree on a sign. Here comes the payoff. Lazul takes outside ball 4. And after just 4 walks in his first 10 innings of work this season, he's walked 2 out of the first 3 Stompers.
Yeah, the Stompers might just have a way of getting walks against opposing pitching. A very uncharacteristic start to this one from Murillo, but as we mentioned earlier, he's a guy who gets the ground ball, lets the defense work. He did that, so now not in a jam after the pair walks.
Libby looks to continue this inning. The shortstop, Jeremiah, shaded well into the hole. That one misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Jackson Nystrom's in left. Dominic Nahar's in center. And Aiden Tackless is making his 2025 debut in right field. It goes Turner, Jeremiah, Latimer, and Finney, third to first for TC Fairfield and the Merchants. Libby swings and misses. A fastball at 76 miles an hour, and he was a touch late.
Yeah, it's an adjustment the Stompers are going to have to make. The fastball, not what you typically see at this level.
Again, when it's only coming 76, you wonder if they get very aggressive on the base paths. That one's outside 2-1. Maybe not with Paul Lazul. And when you know that the slider's coming 50% of the time, you have to be uber aggressive on the base paths.
Yeah, the dirt ball reads are going to need to be good. Look for the downward angle and try to get a good jump.
Stompers have like the best defensive catching unit in the CCL right now. Wibby fouls it back to the screen. Late again, 76, top of the zone. No team throws out runners like Sonoma does. They do a great job of cutting down runners on the bases. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Libby. Murillo shakes off and now nods his head. 2-2 coming to Libby. McCann, tomahawk swing and fouls it into what would be the Margarita, kicks off the fence right to Dave Hoke.
He wasn't late on that one.
Yeah, high and tight, got all the way around the pitch well out of the zone and yanked it just past the dugout of the Merchants down the third base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Murillo works off the third base side of the rubber, pitches, and Libby pops it up. First base side, it's going to be the first baseman, Finney, who can't make the play. And heading now to seconds, McCann, Libby, nobody's there. And it's been ruled a fair ball. There was a second where they were going to review whether it's a fair or foul ball. They're going to give the bat back to McCann Libby. They say foul ball.
Yeah, so taking a look back at our live stream here, it hit the ground. It didn't look like it touched the glove of Finney, although I'm sure the Stompers fans would disagree. And then it spun foul, so credit Finney. What could have been ruled as a really ugly play ends up going in his favor.
That's actually Angelo Luna playing first base today. It must have switched the DH and the first baseman last minute. Libby checks his swing, didn't go. Eighth pitch of the battle. Three balls, two strikes, two outs. Paul Lazul will be running on the pitch. The eighth pitch of the at-bat to Libby is popped up foul over our heads. The battle will continue, and now a 22nd pitch will have to come from Armando Murillo.
And credit McCann Libby here, extending the inning, seeing some pitches, battling here. It's got to be a weird spot. Him mentally, he thought he had a second life on the path, and then takes second base, is pretty pumped. But now back in the box, needs a hit.
The pitch is grounded to third base. Turner gloves his long throw across the diamond just in time to get McCann Libby. The putout goes 5-3. The Stompers, no runs, no hits, and one left. Scoreless after one. You're watching the Stompers baseball on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Aiden Tackless will take his first swings of the 2025 summer. It's now his third year playing for the Alameda organization. Spent 2 summers ago for the Anchors, last year for the Merchants, and he swings and misses to start 2025. A powerful left-handed hitter, hit .311 with a .363 on base percentage, 4 doubles and a home run. That was for the Merchants last season. And he followed that into a great year for the Manhattan Jaspers. 0-1, line foul back to the screen, 0-2. Out in Manhattan, a .321 average, a .386 on base, but 8 home runs and 17 doubles. He was an extra base hit machine for what was a Jaspers squad that was pretty solid. Grew up in San Francisco, and he lines this one right to Trent Keys. One away. Hard hit baseball, 97 off the bat, but right into the glove of Keys, today's right fielder, and that brings up Emmett Finney, who, unlike the lineup said, will actually be the designated hitter today. The lineup card that TC Fairfield submitted to us had him at first base, but him and Angelo Luna will trade positions for the day. Finney, a 300 even hitter, home run, 4 RBIs. Open stance from the right side, swings and misses. Angelo Luna, a lefty on deck. 0-1 pitch. Lined into very shallow right center field. Hegman has a long way to go, and he'll play it on a hop. First hit of the ball game belongs to Emmett Finney here with 1 out in the top of the 2nd inning, and that brings up the St. Edward's University first baseman, Angelo Luna.
Yeah, a nice piece of hitting there from Finney. His 10th hit of the season. Just kind of slapped the barrel out at the ball. A hard pitch from Santavanez, but took it the other way, served it into shallow right center. That's a great way to get on with 1 out.
St. Edward's a small college out in Texas. Austin, and swing and a miss. I don't think anyone thinks of St. Edward's when they think of colleges in Texas. Or Austin, for that matter.
Yeah. Not the first Austin area player we've seen this season.
No. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. That's 89. The fastball a little softer, 1 tick down than we usually see. We'll see. He'll find the time to reach back for 92, as Santavanez usually does. Check on first base, and diving back is Emmett Finney. No balls and 2 strikes. Santavanez looking to put away the left-handed hitting Luna. And he'll check on first again. Finney back with a dive. Finney not running. Santavanez delivers. It's fouled off of the mask of Connor Pulowski. No balls and 2 strikes. Angelo Luna, a .333 hitter. He gets a hit out of 1 out of every 3 at-bats. None of them have gone for extra bases so far. We'll see what he does. 0-2. Santavanez pitches, and it's line foul back to the screen. Sonoma and Alameda have played 4 times. The Merchants have taken 3 out of those 4. They've split the 2 here at Arnold Field, and Sonoma yet to win this season out at Pat Bale Field. Santavanez delivers. Luna fouls it off the Stomper dugout down the first base line. Hard hit baseball. Emmett Finney was running on that pitch, but obviously has to head back to first.
I think that was a hit and run put on there because Finney's jump was not very good, and it looked like Luna just threw out what was a hard swing to try to defend his guy who likely would have been thrown out at second.
Yeah, Finney swiped 3 bases so far this season. Reached base 16 times, so not really a threat to run. That one just misses off the outside corner, and the count's 1-2. Connor Pulowski tried to bring it back to the edge, but Dylan Brewster wasn't buying it. Finney, not a very big lead off first base, just a step. Not taking a very big secondary on the pitch either. And it doesn't matter. Luna strikes out swinging. The runner goes. Pulowski's throw. A delayed steal, and he just gets in there. A very delayed steal by Emmett Finney, and it pays off for his 4th swipe of the season.
Yeah, that's a delayed steal to the T of the definition there. He saw Pulowski catch strike 3, stand up. He pointed to Santavanez and said, hey, good work, whatever it was. And then Finney took off, just had the element of surprise there, and it paid off.
Heads up base running on the part of Emmett Finney. Stole a base. Just the 4th.
I always say don't run on the lifeguard, which is why Pulowski's been nicknamed the lifeguard, but who says you can't sneak by him?
That one's past the glove of Pulowski to the screen, and now Emmett Finney takes 3rd base on the pass ball. So all of a sudden, there's a runner 90 feet away. I mean, at the pool as a kid, I was definitely running. You just hope the lifeguard doesn't see you. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Santivanias now has to get Mateo Mendoza. Struck out 8 times in 8 games. The Arnold Field crowd hoping he goes down via the K here. And he'll be behind in the count 1-2. That's a nice pitch, 88 miles an hour, right on the inside corner. Santivanias ready to throw his 26th pitch and hoping it's the last one here in inning number 2. Low with a fastball. Arnold Field crowd liked it, Santivanias liked it, but Dylan Brewstar did not.
And Luna the beer batter, I can see why. Excuse me. Mendoza the beer batter, I can see why they want it.
2-2, low again. This time it was the slider. And now 3-2. Mendoza's done a nice job of battling back to fill up this count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Santivanias delivers, and it's lined right back at him, and he snares it. Nice play, Nick Santivanias, inning over. Nick just threw his glove at that one, and the stab worked. Santivanias in and out of trouble in the top of the second. Scoreless after 1.5. Cam Hageman, Trent Keys, Anthony Shepler. Those will be the 3 to bat against Armando Maria, who walked 2 in inning number 1 but didn't give up any runs. Hageman hits this one down the left field line. Chasing over is Nystrom, and he watches it drift foul. Hageman got a pitch to hit, 77 in or 30. He turned and yanked it. It was just a tiny bit too early.
Got my hopes up that I'd picked this Stompwatch player to hit a home run in back-to-back ball games.
Hageman 5 to in the end 10 feet wide of the pole. He takes outside this time. 1-1. I mean, I want to call this just a blue bat that Hageman swing, but I know that can't be right. There has to be some color that they have that one's hit to left field and hard. Nystrom comes on and drops it. Almost made a shoestring catch, but it kicked in and out of his glove. Single Cam Hageman. He keeps his hot bat swinging.
And a hard hit baseball there. It died pretty quickly, and Nystrom got a glove on it but couldn't squeeze it. It's a tough play to make.
Hageman hits a sinking line drive into the left center field gap, and it touches down. He will head back to first base after Rio checks. That's the first Stomper hit of the ball game. Hageman not running. Keys takes outside 1-0. Pitch to Keys is bounced towards second. Latimer fields a high hop. He goes to second for one. The throw is high, and Keys will be safe at first base. Hageman slid early to avoid a runner's interference call that's gone against Sonoma so many times, and Latimer's throw to second was very high. Fielder's choice. No return throw made by Jeremiah.
Yeah, and that's a spot where you almost wish that the guys weren't as afraid to get the runner's interference call that we've seen several times for the Stompers, because had he run through there, he probably would have been safe. It'd be first and second, no outs.
Anthony Shepler takes a called strike. Shepler, in 54 at-bats in league action, has 3 RBI. In 1 at-bat in yesterday's first inning, he had 4. Pulled a grand slam over the high wall in right center. He takes outside corner called strike. Dylan Brewster might be opening up that zone off the corner. Just something to look out for here in the early going. Murillo against Shepler right on left. Trent Keys leads off first base, and a check on him skips in there. He dives back safely. 5 stolen bags so far this season for Trent. The pitch to Shepler, that one's too far off the corner, and the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 167 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs in CCL action. Has a homer and a triple if you take in those out-of-league stats. He swings and misses here. Shepler is out. It's the first strikeout for Murillo, and that brings up Connor Pulowski.
Now batting, the Sonoma Stompers catcher number 9, Connor Pulowski.
Pulowski digs in from the right side. Connor was so hot to start the season that average has now dipped below the Mendoza line, 196. Hitting room on the right side. Trent Keys dancing off first, not running, and that one misses off the inside corner to the righty Pulowski. 1 ball and no strikes. Ben Sebastiani, who had a 3-run home run in yesterday's ball game against Nevada, waits on deck. A check on Trent, back safely with a dive. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Walnut Creek Crawdads have been shut out by the Slow Blues 1-0 down in Sinsheimer Park, and Trent Keys is hung up off first base. We'll see if he can get in a rundown. He will. The throw to first base. He slides through the bag and is out. So Keys danced too far off the bag, and Murillo turns and throws him out. The Stompers go down in order. A single, a fielder's choice, a strikeout, and then Keys is picked off to end the inning. We roll to the third scoreless with the Merchants and the Stompers playing on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Jace Jeremiah will lead off, followed by Caleb Latimer and Dominic Nahar. 8-9-1 against Santavanez, who misses with a first pitch fastball, 86, down and away. One-0, outside corner, called strike 1-1. Jeremiah played last season at St. John's. He had hitting .327 with an .867 OPS here this summer. Santavanez, a righty, kicks, deals, and misses low outside again. All three pitches have tried to hit that bottom out corner to the righty Jeremiah.
Yeah, seems to be afraid to come inside to Jeremiah, but is going to need to establish or reestablish the strike zone here.
2-1. Santavanez looking to avoid a leadoff man aboard. This one's bounced towards shortstop. Colton Boardman fields a low hop and throws in time to first base.
Now batting number 9, Caleb Litmar.
Caleb Latimer now digs in, Oklahoma Baptist righty. .190 average. Here for the Merchants. Santavanez deals, and it's low 1-0. 1-0 home. Swing and a miss, 1-1. That's a good pitch from Santavanez, and that's what he's done so well this season. The fastball is down about 1 mile an hour today from where we usually see it, but he's still throwing it in the zone and saying, here's my best stuff. I dare you to hit it. That one kicks off the glove of Pulowski. It's 2-1. Oh, Bruce had missed inside. Latimer last season was teammates with former Stomper starter Brian Thornton. Had one of the better performances of the 2024 summer. That one's a called strike at the knees that counts 2-2.
And Thornton actually made the CSC Academic All-District team, so how about that?
He had himself a heck of a year out there for the Bison. 2-2 pitch. Latimer grounds it to third. Shepler can't field the short hop, and it's in to left. It's an error charged to Anthony Shepler.
Yeah, and just misplayed that baseball. He tried to come in and make a big sweeping scoop of the glove to pick it. That's not ever going to really yield you a positive reaction there. Got to keep the chin down, keep it tucked, get in front of that ball, and then pick it on the short hop in a really quick, slow motion, and then field your feet and throw. It's the hot corner. You got plenty of time. Just have to make the play fundamentally.
First one to the leadoff man. Pulaski picks back to third. Latimer is safe. Latimer so far this season, 5 stolen bases. Running here, Pulowski throws to second on a hop. The tag is not made as it kicks into center field. Stolen base and the 6th of the year. Alameda running well on Nick Santavanez and Connor Pulowski here in the early going. Something to keep an eye on as this game progresses. And Santavanez will now work with a runner out in scoring position for the second time. Nahar behind in the count. It was a called strike, 0-2. We're going to strike out Nahar for the second consecutive at-bat. Santavanez takes a look out at second base, comes home with it, and it's low. Yeah, Brian Thornton was an all-star last year for Sonoma. One-two home. This one's grounded to shortstop. Boardman fields and throws just in time to get the speedy Dominic Nahar. Colton Boardman, that's a tough play at shortstop. The runner Latimer did a great job at almost went directly through his legs. It's a screen. It's like a basketball screen almost in front of Boardman to make that a tough ball to pick up, but Colton, cool, calm, and collected, as he always is out at shortstop, makes the play.
And that's heads-up base running from Latimer, especially because he moved into second at the stolen base that prevented the double play from being turned there.
Now it's the lefty side Turner who takes a called strike. He's seen 4 pitches. They've all been strikes. He went down on just 3 back in inning number 1.
And it was only 3 strikeouts through the first 9 for Santavania, significantly lower than what we've seen so far.
That's a high chopper to second. Libby fields the easy hop, sidearms to first. 3 ground balls induced in the third by Nick Santavanias. Works around an error. We head to the last of the third inning, still scoreless between Alameda and Sonoma. Connor Pulowski was left standing at home plate when Trent Keys was picked off to end the home second, which means he leads off the home third and takes outside, 1 and out. Mateo Mendoza behind the plate kicks the right leg out all the way. It's a 1-knee approach, but he's sitting down. That one's grounded to the backhand side of Jace Jeremiah, knocks it down and won't make a play at first base. It's an error against Jeremiah. Pulowski perfectly placed it between the third baseman and the shortstop. Jeremiah ranged over, tried to play the backhand, and it just ate him up a little bit.
Yeah, ball hit into the 5-6 hole. That's a nice spot to hit it. A tough play, but he kind of jabbed at the ball with the backhand and couldn't make a clean transfer.
So now Pulowski at first, and that one misses just in off the corner. The Stompers have had a base runner every inning against Murillo, just looking to break through and score first. Stompers scored the first 3 runs in Alameda earlier this week. The problem is the Merchants got the final 4 runs. And that was a game where Sonoma made 3 errors and Alameda made 3 errors. Those numbers are climbing already. 1 apiece, and we're still just playing in the third.
After that one was talking to a representative for the Merchants, like, it just feels like every time these two teams play, it's 1 run either way that decides it.
The pitch inside, and it hit Ben Sebastiani. He's aboard. The hardest way possible, and that's 77th time a Stomper's been hit by a pitch in league action.
Stompers shortstop number 3.
And just,
Morgan.
I mean, we even saw a couple yesterday. It's a stat that supersedes CCL play.
That one just 75 miles an hour. Boardman with 2 on and nobody out. The Stompers looking for a big inning here in the third. Crooked number would go a long way. The pitch. He squares to bunt and it goes foul. Colton visibly upset with himself after not being able to get it down. Looks back towards coach. But I think if any player on this roster has earned respect or earned a little bit of a leech from this coaching staff, it's Colton Boardman. We saw him earlier this week, tried to make the flip play with the glove against San Francisco. And Zach Pace after the game said, Colton's not trying to make too flashy of a play here. He bunts and it's caught by the third baseman. And he'll go to first base for a double play. Cy Turner has made a ridiculous play at third base. Crashed the bunt perfectly, went into a headlong dive, caught it on the fly, and picked back to get Ben Sebastiani.
Yeah,
that goes P5 and then 5-3 double play. Unsuccessful bunt. Wow.
That's an incredible play from Cy Turner. He crashed when he saw the turn because the first one went foul, and then just makes an incredible play with the heads-up accurate throw because he had the time.
That brings up the lefty Max Handren. First pitch is low. Kicks away to third. Goes Pulowski. The throw is snagged by Cy Turner, who just saved another run. Pulowski almost baited on a ball that looked heralded for the left field corner. Cy Turner leapt up and made a very, very nice play. He's just saving runs left and right. The 6'3" third baseman used all of his frame and more to keep that ball from it'd still be rolling into the corner.
And still tried the little fake to see if Pulowski was going to go. Looked back, but the ball in his glove the whole time. A heads-up play from Pulowski there.
Handren takes outside 2-0. Latimer's playing in a shift against Max Handren. I know their coaching staff isn't listening, but I wouldn't recommend that. Max goes to all fields. Luna, everybody is shifted to the pull side. Handren pops it up the opposite way, and the count's 2-1. Swung 2-0. He got a fastball 78 bottom of the zone. Spoiled it down the third baseline. And now the overshift is even stronger. Jeremiah, one step towards the shortstop side. Latimer shaded all the way into the second base hole, and Luna hugs the line at first. Pulowski off third with 2 outs. The pitch to Handren is lined through the shift and into right field. No matter where they play him, Max gets it through, and Sonoma leads it 1-0. That's a professional piece of hitting from Max Handren.
He hit the ball at about the same spot he did in the first inning. The difference was this one on a line through versus gloved on the ground by Luna. That's a great piece of 2-strike, 2-out hitting.
That's RBI number 6 for Max Handren, and that brings up the lefty Paul Lazul. And this wasn't a Max Handren shift. They're just going to play every lefty to pull. Lazul bounces it foul, and this could be because of the pitcher. Murillo doesn't throw over 80 miles an hour. You're not expecting guys to be late against him.
No, that's exactly what I was about to say. They're a softer guy who tries to get ground balls. You want to put your guys in kind of an expected spot where they're going to put it, and that leaves a lot of space between the second baseman and second base right now.
Lazul takes low right through the wickets of Mateo Mendoza. To second base goes Handren. Pass ball.
Now the NHL season's over with the Panthers winning the Stanley Cup, but that one just right through the 5-hole.
Right through the 5-hole, exactly. Second consecutive
Yeah.
Stanley Cup championship for Florida, not a place known for its ice.
It's been great, though. Tampa, the Lightning grabbed a couple in
won a
recent
couple,
years.
yeah.
Good down there in the Panhandle.
Stompers now have a chance to double their lead. Handren out at second base. Big hole on the left side. Lazul takes outside, 2-1. Paul walks his first time through. Handren off second. He has the RBI single to put the Stompers up 1-0. Lazul chases that slider, and he's really not picking up that pitch out of the hand of Murillo.
No, it's a good pitch from Murillo there. Goes kind of back foot with it there, trying to induce a swing and miss when he needs one, and he got it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at second base is Handren. Lazul, left-handed hitter, awaits the pitch from Murillo and takes low outside. Tried the slider again, and the count runs full 3-2. Three-two pitch to Paul Lazul. Handren doesn't run, and Lazul hits it a mile out to right. Aiden Tackless ranges towards the wall, and it hits off the wall. He'll throw his hands up, but it's still in play. Handren will score, and Lazul will head into second base. A booming double off the right field fence by Paul Lazul. The Stompers double up their lead, and TC Fairfield heads to the mound. 10th RBI of the season for Lazul. He's now the 5th Stomper to reach double digits in the Ribby category.
Yeah, it's a nice piece from Paul Lazul there. Again, 2 strike, 2 out hitting. Huge for the Stompers tonight. That's not something we've seen them thrive in through most of this season. And I initially saw Fairfield out of the dugout, thought he might be going over to Rod Mattery at first base because right fielder Tackless put the hands up initially, like you said. It hit the bottom of the wall and kicked up one of the tarps with an advertisement on it off the wall. He couldn't see it for a moment, but they're not going to argue it because he eventually got it. It's not a ground rule double, but a great piece from Paul Lazul.
Yeah, right off the olive oil sign set up down the right field line. Lazul, a good job hustling out of the box. You can see a situation there. He thinks he got all of it, but still running out of the box. Trades places with Max Handren. Stompers 2, Alameda nothing. A packed grandstand today at Arnold Field, just as full as the 4th of July yesterday. The pitch to Libby misses inside, 1 ball and no strikes, and they've seen a couple big hits from the heart of the Sonoma lineup here in the 2nd inning.
A good little 2-out rally going for the Stompers, taking advantage of a lead early.
Libby at the plate. Murillo comes home. McCann hits this one high and deep to left field. Chasing over his Nystrom, and he'll watch it hook foul.
It looked awfully close to me. It was probably 30 feet above the top of the foul pole, so tough to tell, but looks pretty close. And Libby got all of that baseball, I'll tell you that.
Libby lines this one through the left side. Coming around is Lazul. Nystrom's go to the plate is late. McCann, Libby goes to second. The Stompers trade in places between second and home on back-to-back hitters. RBI single, McCann, Libby, 3-0 lead, Sonoma.
It's not the 2-run bomb that we saw, or nearly saw with the foul ball, but a hard piece of contact through the left side. Paul Lazul watched it into left, immediately picked up Dave Hoke, waving him the whole way, took a great route around third base, and hustled home. It was a close play, but the no hesitation from Hoke and Lazul got that one in, and just another great piece from McCann Libby.
3 consecutive 2-out hits from 2, 3, and 4 in the Stompers lineup. Chase Armando Murillo from the bowl game in inning number 3. Time for a change. A lefty comes out of the Alameda bullpen. We'll tell you all about it when we return. Sonoma 3, Alameda nothing. Sonoma wants more with a runner at second and 2 outs in the 3rd. Cam Hageman will face the new pitcher, and that's Dominic Crestinzio coming on in relief of Armando Maria, who's given up 3 runs and is accountable for the runner at second base. That's Liddy. Crestinzio, that is. His first pitch is 84 miles an hour off the corner. It's a fastball and a slider from Crestinzio. What else do you have on him, Roman?
Yeah, the 6'3" lefty from San Mateo. This is his 5th appearance this season, but it's his 3rd against the Stompers. The first one gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs. The second one, just 1 hit in 2 innings of work. The Stompers were great the first time, struggled the second time, so we'll see who gets the rubber match here.
The 6'3", 205-pound lefty had 16 innings at the College of San Mateo last year. Libby off second, the 1-1 coming to Hageman, and it's lined foul down the right field line towards the Stomper bullpen, where there's no need for any action the way Nick Santavanez has been through 3 innings. Looks sharp.
And Santavanez had to work around a little bit of trouble with an error and a single, but has done a great job in a couple of jams. Just let the defense work.
Hageman a righty, Crestinzio a lefty. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The offer is outside. These two must have matched up in an Ohlone versus CSN game at some point over the last season. Going back to my comments from last time, this is just a blue bat, right? What is salmon? I don't know what color that is. We'll ask Miranda in the break. Hageman bounces it right back to the pitcher. Crestinzio throws to first. Roman Raffelli takes over on play-by-play, but we'll tell you the color of Cam Hageman's bat on the other side of the break in the 4th inning. Sonoma 3 runs on 3 2-out hits. Roman Raffelli will tell you about the 4th inning of play when we return on the Stompers Broadcast Network.
The Stompers, a 3 spot in the bottom of the 3rd, gives Nick Santavanez a bit of insurance to work with, though he's struck out 3 through as many innings. First pitch to Jackson Nystrom is fouled on the ground down the 3rd base line. Bounced off the fence and right into the glove of Anthony Shepler, who hardly had to move for it. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Nystrom in the Stompers' nightmares over the past couple days hit the go-ahead home run in the 7th inning. That was the difference in Alameda on Wednesday.
Yeah, I found a pitch from Chris Albee, middle low, and sent it to dead center. Ball about 405 feet off the bat, the dead center wall at 400. 0-2 to Nystrom, misses low. The 1-2, High slider, strike 3. A nice pitch from Santivanez.
Jackson Nystrom's a 333 hitter. I think he is not going to whiff on that pitch too many times. Slider sort of just sat at the top of the zone.
It started about chin to eye height and then just ducked in. I can imagine the eyes lit up thinking, oh, it's a high off speed. I'm just going to crank this to 400 feet like before, but he didn't there. First one goes down on the K. It's a strike to Aiden Toklas making his season debut. He lined out to Trent Keys in right. That was the second inning. Santivanez working from the wind, delivers, hit softly just past him. Libby charges, gloves, throws high to Lazul, but in time. A tough in-betweener there from Toklas, but he's sat down.
Now batting number 21, Emmett Finney.
Brings up Emmett Finney, who singled, stole a bag, worked his way to third base, but was left there after Luna struck out, and a comebacker from Mendoza was snagged by Santivanez. Two gone. Santivanez's first pitch swung on in, missed by Finney. The 0-1 middle low fastball called strike 2. And we had talked about it in his previous outing. Santivanez, first time through the lineup, a lot of fastball, a little bit of slider. Second time through, tries to work in the changeup a bit, but has to continue to vary the cadence. This one pulled glove side, now 1-2. And Santivanez has been his best when he is able to vary that cadence, can sneak the changeup in a little bit. It's a good changeup, not his primary pitch, but one that can be very effective. The 1-2 cut on and missed, well ahead of, I believe, a changeup there. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. A 1-2-3 inning from Santivanez gets the bats back out here in Sonoma. Trent Keys leads off the bottom of the fourth. It was a productive third for the Stompers, but as you've heard us say, it's the late innings, the middle to late innings, that the Stompers have struggled to score in. It's left on left. Cristinzio begins his first full inning of work. He got an out from Cam Hageman to end the third. That inning started by Armando Murillo, who went 2 2/3, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked a pair of Stompers. He hit a Stomper, and he struck out a Stomper. The 1-0 to Keys, cut on and missed low
uncharacteristic chase from Trent. Saw a fastball out of the hand, and it missed badly, but swung.
And Crescenzio, a harder thrower than Murillo was. The Stompers gonna have to make the adjustment, though they seem to struggle with the slower stuff. The 1-1 pulled outside. And like most relievers, Crescenzio works exclusively from the stretch. No more Craig Kimbrell comparisons in this one after Murillo in the stretch dropped the arm down. 2-1 misses inside to Keys. It didn't hit him, though it seems like every pitch does.
Yeah, if he can take ball 4, it would even him up at 15 hit by pitches and 15 walks, which beats out 13 strikeouts.
The 3-1 misses inside. It almost hit him there, and it's just Trent Keys has a way about getting balls pitched inside. So it's the first walk on Crescenzio's night. Keys has been aboard twice and now has 30 free passes himself. I mean, that's a ridiculous stat for
Trent Keys and Anthony Shepler had a good 15-20 second conversation where Keys is giving Shepler a pretty in-depth scouting report of what he's about to see from the lefty.
The lefty Shepler grounds this one to second. Latimer turns to second on to first for the 4-6-3 double play. So it's a twin killing for the Merchants, and now the leadoff walk that often comes back to bite you is erased.
Third double play the Stompers have hit into in 4 innings.
It brings up Connor Pulowski. He reached on an error in the third, scored. That was the first Stomper run. First pitch taken inside for a strike.
It's a good fastball at the knees from the lefty. Crescenzio Pulowski didn't like, yeah, he probably just asked Dylan Brewster, I want that one too. Or no lower than that.
The 0-1 outside corner, not called a strike. A nice fastball there, about a ball or two off the black. One and one the count. Pulowski, the backstop from Oakland, goes to school at Bellarmine. This one misses low. And Ben Sebastiani stands on deck. He was hit by a pitch. One of 3 free passes issued by Murillo. The 2-1 in the dirt again, 3-1. Three-one pitch to Pulowski, not competitive. It's a 5-pitch walk with 2 gone.
Yeah, second walk of the inning for Crescenzio. Stompers have 2 walks in the first inning. One of those was erased on a double play. This last walk was erased on a double play, and a hit by pitch has been erased on a double play. They say leadoff walks come back to hurt you. That has yet to be the case.
The Merchant defense has picked up their pitchers through 4 2/3. Look to do it here. First pitch misses high and out to Ben Sebastiani. Sebastiani, the latter half of the double play, as Kieran mentioned. And a pump fake pick move to first from the catcher, Mendoza. Pulowski not fooled.
Connor had some fun. Connor didn't go back to the bag. He said, yeah, I know that move.
This is my diamond. This is my move. Don't pull it on me. The 2-0, high and out again, 3-0.
Don't go up on the lifeguard chair and tell me how to be a lifeguard. That's my job.
So we're going to see a mound visit from TC Fairfield. And a bit of gamesmanship there. Pulowski saw he wasn't going to make the move, just kind of strolled back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Margarita mashup
Not a big fan of these mid at-bat mound visits.
He's behind 3-0 here. Got to go out there, tell him to throw it a strike. I'd probably not just say throw a strike. That doesn't seem very constructive, but give him a couple deep breaths, a chance to gather himself and get back in the zone. Sebastiani, a 3-run home run last night, part of a 3-hit effort from the Sonoma native.
I like that TZ Fairfield runs out and runs back to his mound visits. The exact opposite of Zach Pace, who takes a very, very slow walk and he'll kick the dirt on his way in and his way out every time.
The Stompers skipper with a much slower pace than Fairfield. The 3-0 misses high. The mound visit doesn't work to that extent. It's back-to-back walks, the third in the inning, and the lineup rolls over to Colton Boardman.
Maybe go back out and talk to him again.
No limit on mound visits in the CCL, though. I imagine Fairfield would welcome some boos afterwards. And a ridiculous steal from Connor Pulowski. He takes off when Crescenzio's getting this sign. The throw goes into left field. How about the crafty play from Connor Pulowski?
You run on pitchers when they're not ready to go, and he throws it away. It's a stolen base for Pulowski, and then he'll score on an E1. It's the second stolen base for Connor.
And how about that, as none of us are looking at it there? He gets 180 free feet. This one hit through the right side, gloved by Luna, and he beats Boardman to the bag. What looked like an inning that could have gone empty after 3 free passes for the Stompers is saved on a steal from Connor Pulowski. He scores. The Stompers extend their lead 4-0 through 4 here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Angelo Luna leads off the top of the 5th for the Stompers. Luna, 9 hits, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks on the year, a 3.33 average entering today's ball game. He lined out to Nick Santavania, struck out against Nick Santavanias in the 2nd. First pitch here, fouled back over the third base dugout.
Hey, kids, if you want to race a stomper, meet me over at the left field.
And it wasn't quite a steal of home from Pulowski. It was a just catch you off guard steal of third, which then he scored on the throwing error by the pitcher Costenzio. But this one's hit high and deep to right. Going back is Keys, and he makes the grab above his head. A bit extra length in right field today. Keys getting his first run there, but he makes a grab on a nice fly ball.
Now batting number 11, Mateo Mendoza. If Mateo strikes out, all gear will be half off for the remainder of the inning.
But to go back to our previous conversation, Pulowski there, a nifty play. That's just crafty, risky baseball that we've been looking for the Stompers. They've lost some close games. Runs like that can be the difference, and we'll have to see how this one ends, but stick around for the full thing. Roman Raffaele, Kieran Costa on the Sonoma Stompers broadcast network. The 1-0 from Santavanez hit softly and shallow right. A triangle of Stompers watches it fall just inside the right field line. It's a bloop single for Mateo Mendoza.
Yeah, first hit since Emmett Finney's only hit since Emmett Finney's one-out single in the second. Since then, it had been just one error to reach base in 9 outs for Santavanez, and that's not a hard-hit baseball at all. 70 miles an hour off the bat.
Yeah, soft floater into shallow right. It's a one-out single for Mateo Mendoza and brings up Jace Jeremiah, who swings and misses at the first pitch he sees.
Stompers would like to get one of those double plays back right about now. Second inning, he induced 4 ground balls. One of those was on Jace Jeremiah.
The 0-1 in there, strike 2.
I think a strikeout would be just as nice, though.
Santavanez will have to wait a second to get it. He checks back to first. Mendoza back in time. The 0-2 comes set, takes a look, delivers, fouled back. Santavanez, the 0-2, chopped to Colton Boardman at short. The throw of Libby into right field. Throw from Trent Keys goes to third, nearly in time. It looked like he came off the bag, but Shepler didn't get the tag down. And that was a missile from right. Trent Keys nearly got him after Mendoza was about halfway to third base. This goes E6 against Colton Boardman. Jeremiah now stands on first. Mendoza on third. Just 1 out in the inning. The Stompers got the ground ball they needed, but that one a tough one. Unlikely to get 2. They go for the lead runner. They can't get it. And now a mess.
Yeah, Jace Jeremiah, 8 stolen bases already this season. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone first pitch in this first and third situation. But I wouldn't be surprised if Connor Pulaski threw back down to second base and tried and got the out.
Jeremiah doesn't go first pitch. It's a ball low and out to Caleb Latimer. He reached on an error by Anthony Shepler in the third. He stole a base, worked his way to third, but was left there. He's just 1 for his last 15. Runner goes early, and the pitch is in for a strike.
That's one where Santavanez, if he'd picked that up and stepped off, could have been a humongous second out.
And Jeremiah likely going early to try to get into a pickle between first and second, a play that we see quite a bit in the CCL, and anyone who played ball probably had their coach explain it to him. You get caught between first and second, try to get the attention all there, and then score the run from third. The 1-1 cut on and missed by Latimer. Now a 1-2 count. Nick Santovania is no stranger to the strikeout, but needs one here with 2 on and 1 out.
You lose the breaking ball in the dirt with this runner at third base, but Santovania likes to go high fastball with 2 strikes.
1-2. It was an off speed, and he sorted Latimer. He just gave a defensive, half-hearted whiff high in the zone. That's crafty from Nick Santovanias. 2 gone for the top of the order. It's Dominic Nahar, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout so far this evening. The .381 hitter due for the Merchants. First pitch, another spinner, but it misses high and in.
Merchants have already left 2 runners in scoring position. Those are the only 2 runners to reach base so far.
The 1-0, fastball low in, fouled back over the first base dugout.
You don't need the strikeout anymore if you're Santovanias, but it would be nice. But really anything gets you out of the inning.
6 strikeouts. First 2 trips through the order, begins his 3rd trip with 2 on and 2 outs. The 1-1 to Nahar hit softly, fouled on the first base line, out of play. Now a 1-2 count for Santovanias. Santovanias played his last season at Cal State Northridge, now headed to Fullerton. Was teammates with shortstop Colton Boardman. One-two, Santovanias comes set. The pitch to Nahar, hit right back at him over the glove. Libby charges and can't make the play. Boardman picks it up, now throws to third, and there's a run down here. Shepler to Pulowski, tosses it back to Libby, who started the play, and he makes the tag. The run comes across to score. That's Mendoza, but Jeremiah picked off between third and home. It's a messy play. We'll break it down when we return for the bottom of the 5th here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. We head to the bottom of the 5th. And to wrap up the top of the 5th, Dominic Nahar hit a ground ball to McCann Libby, who made an error, so that scores the run Mateo Mendoza. But then Libby's misfielding kicked to Colton Boardman. First pitch to Handren inside. Boardman then threw to Shepler at third, who threw to Pulowski in the rundown with Jeremiah, and went back to Libby, who recorded the out. So it's an E4, scores the run, then a caught stealing 4-6-5-2-4 to end the inning. All that said, it's a 1-1 count to Max Handren. The Stompers now lead 4-1. This one misses in the dirt. The new catcher for the Merchants is Riley Winchell, who caught Tuesday's ball game and was very good. This one misses. 3-1 now to Handren. Winchell, the 6'1", 205-pound righty behind the dish. 3-1 inside to Handren, ball 4. And it's the 4th walk issued by Crescenzio out of the bullpen. There is movement. It's now being told to speed up in the Merchant pen. Handren leads off first. Pitch low and out to Paul Lazul. This one chopped foul at home plate. Lazul, a walk and a double. A run scored as well. He got an RBI on that double. It was Max Handren who came across to score. The 1-1 fouled back well ahead of an off-speed pitch. That one coming in at 69 miles an hour. A slider from Crescenzio. Left on left, Crescenzio shakes twice, comes set, takes a look at Handren, delivers to the plate, hit hard, foul down the right field line. The Stompers lead 4-1 at Arnold. They'll finish the week down in the Bay. San Bruno Park against the Seagulls. That's a 6:05 first pitch. This one hit right back up the middle, gloved by Crescenzio, who goes to second to first. And it's the 4th double play of the ball game turned by the Merchants. That one goes 1-6-3 for the Twin killing. Two gone for McCann Libby, who's got a ground out and a single. First pitch outside corner, strike 1 to Libby. Libby singled in the 3rd. That was an RBI single. Scored Paul Lazul. A 1 hit hard through the right side. That's a 2-out single for Libby. And a nice piece of hitting there. Got a fastball on the outside corner and a touch low, but went down and drove it to right. The low fastball seems to be something that the Merchants like to throw when Winchell's behind the plate. He was able to frame him well on Tuesday in that ball game. The Merchants won and get a lot of stolen strikes with the low fastball. That one stolen from Libby. He sent it to shallow right. Now 1-0 to Cam Hegeman, who pops it up foul over the first base dugout. The 1-1 high out misses to Hegeman, 2-1. Crescenzio set, takes a look at Libby, delivers home, a big swing and miss from Hegeman, evens the count at 2-2. The 2-2 swung on and missed in the dirt at the feet. Hegeman goes down swinging. That's just the first strikeout for Crescenzio through 2 1/3. A run of insurance tacked on, or excuse me, not tacked on despite the 2-out single from Libby and the leadoff walk. The Merchants get one back in the 5th. We'll head to the 6th. It's Sonoma Stompers baseball on the Sonoma Stompers broadcast network. I mean, he's just trying to advance an extra base. Interesting. That's interesting. Interesting. Nick Santavagna's night is done. He gave the Stompers everything they needed. It was a 5-inning start, 2 hits, 1 run. It wasn't earned. It came after the error by McCann Libby in the 5th. He didn't walk or hit a batter. He struck out 6, and he gives way to Gideon Hahn. Fouls out the first pitch from Cy Turner.
Yeah, but the big thing Nick Santavagna did today is he leads this outing as the CCL strikeout leader. 29 strikeouts in the 2025 season for Santavagna. That sits atop all of the CCL, North and South combined.
Hahn working from the wind, gets the sign, delivers from the low arm angle, misses outside to Cy Turner.
Yeah, Hahn making his 5th appearance. He's given up 4 runs. All of them have been unearned. 7 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, and 4 walks.
The 1-1 wind Hit softly into left field. Ben Sebastiani doesn't get there. It bounces foul. Top of the 6th in Sonoma. The sun slowly setting. It leaves the field striped with sunshine. The 1-2 chopped foul from Sly Turner. Just tried to see how many S words I could get in that sentence. Sonoma, Stompers, sunshine, sunset. On the 1-2 to Turner, misses outside. On a 3-pitch mix, it's fastball, cutter, slider, and works from a lower arm angle. The 2-2 rings him up, strike 3. Turner thought it was outside. It might have been a ball or so, but a nice frame from Pulowski puts down Turner.
This might be the longest Stomper pitching has gone without allowing a free pass to start a game.
It's been a great start to it. The Stompers looking to close out what feels like a must-win game in Sonoma. First pitch to Nystrom misses inside. On winds, the 1-0 misses in the dirt, 2-0.
The Stompers would, in theory, draw level with the Crawdads on win percentage if they win this one today.
Nice one hit into foul ground down the right field line. Caught by Keys in fair ground. A nice hustle play puts down Nystrom. 2 up, 2 down for Gideon Hahn.
Now, Hahn, a guy also that has shown he can go length. He did 40 pitches last time out to close out a blowout victory over Walnut Creek. He could go 2-3 innings here, and we could be talking about how the Stompers want to shut the door in the 8th, even the 9th.
So we'll face Aiden Tackless, 0 for 2 on the game. It's his debut for the Merchants. First pitch misses low. And that game against the Crawdads was a fiery one. We saw a couple of ejections, some words with Eric Gurney behind the plate from nearly everyone in attendance at Arnold Field. Eric Gurney now down the third base line umpiring this evening. Much lower pressure situation there. 2-0 from Hahn. Hit hard at Libby, who ranges fields, throws in time to get Tackless. It's a 1-2-3 top of the 6th, brought to you by Gideon Hahn. We'll head to the bottom half on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. The evening's over for Dominic Crescenzio, who gives way to Tobin Cantrell.
Yeah, Crescenzio 2 1/3, 1 hit, 1 run. It was unearned, 4 walks and a strikeout. Defense turned 1 double play behind him.
Number 16, Tobin Cantrell.
Misses in the dirt to Trent Keys. Cantrell pitched for Alameda last season. It was 12 appearances from the bullpen, 19 1/3 innings pitched, a 4.19 ERA with 30 strikeouts.
This season, he's given up 4 earned runs over 6 innings, 12 strikeouts to just 6 walks.
He's behind 2-0 to Trent Keys, who's 0 for 1 on the day with a walk.
Stompers have a righty up and loosening in the bullpen. It might just be a lot of 1-inning appearances to try and shut the door. Gideon Hahn, though, definitely has more in the tank if needed.
The Stomper bullpen started off the week ahead after Devin Laginto shoved 9 scoreless innings at Menlo Park. That was Tuesday.
They're also given a lift by out-of-league only Patrick Atkinson, cleaning up the last 2 frames yesterday.
Left on left, the 3-1 in the dirt, ball 4.
So walks 15 and 16, more walks than hit by pitches finally for Trent.
And free passes, 30 and 31 on the season for Trent Keys. Brings up Anthony Shepler, who grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the 4th. Also struck out in the 2nd. Had a memorable night last night, but one to forget this evening. This one gets away from Winchell, but Keys doesn't go.
Cross-up, was he looking fastball?
Tough to tell. It was kind of a weird sequence. Hit him in the glove, but
It was a slider.
Just
It was a hanging
snuck away.
slider, and it just popped in and out of Winchell's mitt.
1-0 in the dirt. A good block from Winchell, who's been nothing but sharp for the Merchants against the Stompers. Now 2-0. Trent Keys leads off first. Shepler for 2 on the evening stands in from the left. Swings and misses here, 2-1.
Yeah, there's the fastball, 87 out of the hand of Cantrell, coming from that tall 6'3" lefty arm slot. Comes pretty sharply over the top.
Two-one to Shepler, misses in the dirt, 3-1. Cantrell does his college pitching at Chabot. Got a pretty limited run this last spring, 4 1/3. He gave up 1 unearned run, struck out a pair, walked a pair, just a .92 whip through 4 1/3. The 3-1 inside to Shepler, ball 4. And now to the plate, Connor Pulowski, sporting a new walk-up song at Arnold. Came and changed it pre-game today. And, well, he's been on base twice. Neither a hit, but it's worked for him. Two on, no outs. Pulowski squares to bunt, pulls it back. It's a ball low. The 1-0, not to the bunt liking of Pulowski, but it's a called strike by Dylan Brewster.
Yeah, Colton Boardman tried to bunt in the 3rd inning, and the third baseman Turner crashed it and made a diving catch and ended up turning a double play.
The 1-1 put down but foul. The bunt won't be used to the Stompers' effect with Connor Pulowski.
It's a good pitch to bunt, fastball down in the zone. And he put it down and just straight into home plate.
It's 1-2 to Pulowski, now swinging the bat. Pitch hit high into shallow, foul right field, and it falls at the feet of D'Angelo Luna.
Yeah, Angelo Luna had a play on that ball. Maybe if he'd made a basket catch, Trent Keys would have taken third base. I don't think he dropped it on purpose. It's kind of a second mistake we've seen from him. Neither of them, to his credit, have ended in hits, luckily enough.
So it stays 1-2 to Pulowski. Shepler leads off first. Keys off second. This one not swung on by Pulowski. The few Alameda fans made their presence known at Arnold tonight, thinking he went around there. It's 2-2 the count. Two-two the pitch. It bounces at the feet of Winchell. Both runners advance. The throw to Shepler at second. He really just jogged first to second there and was nearly picked off. Winchell thought he had a chance.
6 stolen base for Keys, just the second for Anthony Shepler in league action. I don't think Winchell or Turner's like what they've seen the last couple pitches from Tobin Cantrell, and they have a mini meeting on the mound. Settle him down. He's walked 2, and now he has to really cut down these runners at second and third, which Santavanez did so well.
Yeah, no outs so far. Winchell and Turner, the mound visit, now dispersed. The infield comes in to cut the runs. Stompers lead 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Payoff to Pulowski, misses inside, ball 4.
3 straight walks to start the inning. This is Stomper ball. Put a couple pitches to the backstop, and it's Sonoma special.
Now we keep calling it small ball, but let's just nickname it Stomper ball. We've nicknamed the run scoring on a pass ball the Stomper special. It's what they do. They take advantage of the defense and pitching miscues. Now bases loaded for Ben Sebastiani, who, while it wasn't a CCL contest, hit a home run last night.
This is interesting to go infield fully in with the bases loaded, because from medium depth you can come home to get a force play. The catcher just sets up like a first baseman.
And no double play depth up the middle, so they're committed to getting the out at home. This one misses inside to Sebastiani. Now 2-0, and an arms ready in the Merchant pen.
If you're Ben Sebastiani, you have to key in on your pitch. He's walked 3 in a row, and you're ahead 2-0. If you get a fastball in the zone, take a hack.
He doesn't get it. It's going to get past Winchell. Trent Keys scores, and runners move to second and third. It's now 5-1 Stompers.
What did I tell you? I saw a Stomper special coming from a mile away. Ben's a pitch away from his 3rd free pass.
And it's
At-bats haven't been too bad from him.
The at-bats have been great. He's getting some extended run. He had his 12th walk in the 4th. The only issue has been in the K. He's got 12 of those on the year as well. The 3-0 misses well outside, ball 4. 4 pitches to the 9-hole brings up Colton Boardman at the top.
Now batting Stompers, shortstop number 3, Colton Boardman.
22 pitches, just 5 of them have been strikes. Cantrell has no feel for command today, and I wouldn't be surprised if Fairfield made the move right here.
And he comes in and walks 4 consecutive. And Fairfield makes the mound visit.
Maybe he gives him one more hitter. But Boardman a chance to find a gap and really change the course of this ball game. 5-1's a nice lead, but it's by no means a safe lead. If Boardman, the team's leader in doubles, finds a gap, Sonoma will really have some breathing room.
It's another batter for Cantrell.
You have an arm just standing and waiting by the bullpen gate.
Fairfield elects to keep his guy out there. It's the top of the order. Colton Boardman looking to rectify what was a not great bunt in the third.
It wasn't a horrible bunt.
Well, it was caught and turned it for two.
Yeah, you don't blame the hitter for getting beat by a web gem.
And he gets hit by one here on the front elbow, and that scores a run. It's basically the fifth walk in as many batters.
RBI, Colton Boardman, 14th of the season.
It scores Anthony Shepler, extends the Stomper lead. Once again, it's 6-1 in the bottom of the sixth. The Berkeley Golden Bear takes the box when we come back on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
Payson Mayo's favorite hit.
Zane Baltz enters for the Merchants. It was Tobin Cantrell who didn't record an out, give a free pass to every Stomper he saw. It was 4 walks and a hit by pitch.
Yeah, Cantrell, 6'4", 220-pound righty out of Brentwood, the hardest thrower we've seen today. 1.42 earned run average so far. 6 games and 6 and a third innings. 10 strikeouts and just 4 walks.
So Baltz takes over for Cantrell. He faced the Stomps back on June 11th. The 1-0 hit high in the air by Handren into shallow left field. Nystrom makes the grab, and it won't move a runner. And that's a bullet dodged there by the Merchants. Handren leads the team in batting average. It's 381. He had 8 hits entering today's ballgame. He tacked on a 9th as well as an additional RBI. That led his season total to 6. There's been limited appearances for Handren, but he's made the most of them. Doesn't make the most there. First pitch chopped foul by Paul Azul.
That's the spot you dream of if you're Zach Pace. You have your best hitter up in a bases loaded, nobody out situation, but an unproductive out for Max Handren.
So it's the second lefty for Baltz. It's Paul Lazul. The 0-1 misses inside.
Yeah, this is a tough place to bring a reliever into a game, which I feel like we've talked about a lot. It seems like they've made a lot of bases-loaded pitching changes, which I understand. It's coming off of free passes. You cannot allow a free pass in a bases-loaded situation, but it's pressure pitches off the rip for these relievers.
The 1-1 inside again to Lazul, 2-1.
90 again.
Baltz, a unique pitching motion, not a lot of leg kick, just shoves off the rubber and gives a flick of the wrist and the elbow. Comes set at the belt, delivers inside, called for a strike. Lazul doesn't love the call. Now 2-2. Baltz pitching inside, looking to get Lazul jammed up. A 2-2 fouled off down the third base line.
This is a big at-bat for Lazul. The Stompers, I know they already have 2 runs home in the inning, but you have Handren, Lazul, Libby coming up in a bases-loaded, nobody-out situation. You need 2 runs at the minimum from that spot.
The 2-2 fouled back again from Lazul, earning a quality at-bat, a big one here. Bases loaded, 1 out. Stompers looking to add to the lead. That's already 5 runs. The 2-2 misses outside to Lazul, 3-2. The slider slipped out of the hand.
I don't know if it did. Both stared in like he wanted the call. I think that's where he wanted that pitch.
It was 4 or 5 balls outside. So whatever Baltz was thinking, it wasn't a strike. This one misses. Catches the outside corner, called strike 3. He had me fooled.
Lazul was squeezed a little bit there by Dylan Brewster. Home plate umpire missed a call below the zone and then missed a call outer third there.
And it brings up McCann Libby, second baseman for the Stompers. He's from Frisco, Texas. Played a couple seasons with the Navarro Bulldogs and is headed to Louisiana Tech. Takes a first pitch slider in for a strike.
Right down the middle.
Baltz starts the count backwards. Is ahead 0-1. The 0-1 catches the zone outside and low. Strike 2 to Libby. And Baltz has come in and, if it holds, has exactly the mop-up job TC Fairfield was looking for.
He's controlled the slider very well.
The 0-2, strike 3, called. The Merchants load the bases, walk in a pair. And then Zane Baltz comes in, strikes out 2 looking to end the inning. The Stomps add 2 in the bottom of the 6th. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Kieran Costa takes over on play-by-play here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
Luke Duncan takes the mound. He relieves Gideon Hahn, a 1-2-3 6th inning. A strikeout, a pop-out, and a ground-out. Duncan still yet to give up an earned run this season. Pitches, and it's a check swing foul by Emmett Finney, who singled and struck out off Nick Santavanez, the starter. 6 innings of work, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 3 hits.
Now batting number 21, Emmett Finney.
Finney, a right-handed hitter out of San Jose State, the DH today for TC Fairfield. Duncan delivers, swing and a miss, 93 miles an hour, 0-2. Hardest thrower on the Stomper roster ticks all the way up to 95. He's ahead of Finney 0-2, and this is not a spot you want to be against Duncan. The righty delivers, and Finney strikes out swinging late on a fastball at 94. Takes just 3 pitches for Luke Duncan's first strikeout and the 8th by Stomper pitching.
That's a great way to start the outing from Luke Duncan, the hardest thrower in the pen. Just comes in, throws the fastball a lot. It's a tough one to get on top of.
It's his 10th strikeout on the CCL season. A pitch, swing and a miss. Angelo Luna, you guessed it, he was late on 94. That's really an uptick from Gideon Hahn, who didn't really crack 85 on the gun in his 6th inning. So now in the 7th, they're facing 93 plus. And if I'm Luke Duncan, I'm throwing the fastball till it's put in play. 0-1, fastball, swing and a miss. It was not a fastball, it was a slider. That's why he's the pitcher and I'm just up here. Switch to the slider, it works pretty good too. I'd go back to the fastball. 0-2 pitch coming to Angelo Luna. Duncan sets at the belt and delivers. That's bounced up the middle. Libby ranges, fields it to the glove side, and throws to first. That's a nice defensive play by McCann Libby. The second baseman ranged all the way around the ball, so he gloved it. Instead of on the backhand, he just scooped it and made a nice little exchange.
That's a great job getting around the baseball, get the momentum working towards first base rather than trying to make a throw with your body moving away from the bag.
Yeah, and that's just cerebral baseball from McCann Libby. He knows how fast the runner's going. He knows how hard the ball is hit. He knows he has time to get around it and still make the throw. This one's grounded past Paul Lazul into right field. Just a little nubber off the bat of Mateo Mendoza squeaks through. Single. That brings up Jace Jeremiah. Maybe the scouting reports swing early and just hope you get a couple seeing eye singles like that.
Yeah, throw the barrel out there. The zone's only so big. Surely something's bound to hit.
And Jace Jeremiah has hit a couple ground balls out towards the shortstop. One ended in an out, one ended in an error. He takes a first pitch fastball low and inside, 94 miles an hour. With a 6-1 advantage, you wonder if Braden Gentz is used today, the Stomper closer. 7 outs to get for Zach Pace. Duncan comes home. Inside again. Not letting Jeremiah get extended.
And Pace quick to use the pen early. Could have seen Gideon Hahn lengthened out a bit, and then maybe 2 from him, 2 from Luke Duncan. You got yourself a ball game.
2-0 pitch from Luke. Misses inside again. He stayed only on the inner third and tried to keep it below the zone. And a ball here would put a runner out in scoring position, and an outing where Luke Duncan's just looked cool, calm, and collected. 3-0 on the way. Duncan nods his head and delivers just low again. And the home plate umpire, Dylan Brewster, hasn't really given anything on that inner third of the plate, and he's given a lot on the outer third. Maybe make an adjustment as a pitcher, say, it's already hard enough to hit my fastball and get your arms extended and out to it. Imagine if it's even further off the corner. Pitcher's pitch.
And Duncan just needs to go back to filling it up. He got the strikeout of Finney by throwing strikes, making him catch up to it. And as the lineup progresses, the guys get more acclimated to this speed. That's the purpose of the on-deck circle, but just got to fill up the zone, throw strikes.
Connor Pulaski is going to go have a meeting with Duncan before he delivers to Caleb Latimer, who also reached on an error. He was Santavanez' league-leading 29th strikeout. Duncan faces another righty in Latimer out of Oklahoma Baptist. 0 for 2 today. You don't really want to flip this lineup here to Dominic Nahar. Duncan comes set. The righty out of Los Medanos deals inside again. It's 4 consecutive pitches that have missed inside to a right-handed hitter. None of them objectively bad misses, and this is where you want to miss. But now it's 5 consecutive out of the zone. Two on, 2 out. Stompers lead 6-1 here in the 7th. Duncan, that one's in the zone with a fastball at 93. Do that a couple more times, this inning's probably over. Mendoza from second, Jeremiah from first. Duncan delivers to Latimer, swing and a miss. Leadoff man Dominic Nahar would come up if this inning continues. One ball and 2 strikes. Duncan checks second, comes home. Struck him out looking. Fastball on the back of the outside corner. That's a pitcher's pitch from Luke Duncan. Alameda does not score. Time to stretch in Sonoma. The Stomps lead the Mercs 6-1. Cam Hegeman, Trent Keys, Anthony Shepler go to work against Zane Bolts, who came in bases loaded, nobody out, induced a pop-up from Max Handren, and struck out Paul Lazul and McCann Libby. He works behind 1-0 to Cam Hegeman, and now behind 2-0. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Crawdads already lost today. The Slow Blues blanked them 1-0 down at Sinsheimer Park. And in San Bruno, the Seagulls lead the Legends 7-4. Hegeman takes a called strike, 2-1.
And the Blues have gotten hot as of late. A big win over Walnut Creek. That's a team that no one in the North wants to have to play come postseason.
Hegeman goes chasing on a pitch well up above the zone of a 71-mile-per-hour slider. It hung up there, but it was very high.
We got word from our marketing team. It's a royal blue bat. I don't know if we had mentioned it.
That one's bounced towards second. It's a broken bat. Latimer charges, sidearm throw in time. Cross body, nice play. Latimer, and right on cue, that royal blue bat. Royal blue bat seems to be shattered.
That's a tough one to say there.
Yeah. I've been caught up a couple times today. I need to practice my tongue twisters before the game. Maybe on the long drive down to San Bruno tomorrow we can do a couple.
Get him going.
Yeah. The pitch. Keys takes a hit by pitch, and that's number 16 for Trent. Even him up. 16 hit by pitches, 16 walks. It's the best story on the Stompers.
32 free passes is just insane. There's no other way to put it. He doesn't crowd the plate. He doesn't lean into pitches. He takes good ABs and also takes his fair bit of bruises.
Now it's the lefty Anthony Shepler. Zane Bolt's inside corner at the knees. That's a nice pitch, 0-1. Shepler on the day is struck out, bounced into a double play, walked, stolen a base, and scored. 0-1 to Anthony, inside corner, called strike 2. No action in the Stomper bullpen as of right now. Maybe Luke Duncan's the man to get 6 outs. The pitch to Shepler is lined through into center field. A check back on Trent Keys. He's back safely. That's a hard hit baseball right back through the middle.
And a nice piece there for Anthony Shepler, and Trent Keys took a big round, thought about it, and then had to slam on the brakes. Dominic Nahar nearly threw him out, picking back to second.
So Keys moves up 90 feet. Shepler, a hard hit single back through the middle. And that brings up Connor Pulaski, who sees a first pitch slider drop in for a strike. Shepler now has a hit in 3 out of 4 league appearances. He's coming around a little bit at the dish. Pitch to Pulowski. That's that slider again. I think he picked it up late. He was late on 71 as the pitch just drifted away from him.
And that's a great one there from Baltz.
Oh-2 pitch coming to Pulowski. Bolts tries the slider again and misses. That's what he did to McCann Libby. He threw 3 consecutive sliders in the zone and got a strikeout on 3 pitches. And there, ahead 0-2, he tried to induce a swing from Pulowski on a 3rd consecutive slider. Let's see what he goes to on 1-2. It's a fastball, and it's grounded through the right side. Charging his tackless, and Dave Hoke's going to hold Trent Keys. Now he drops it, and here comes Trent. There won't be a play at the plate. It's a single for Pulowski and an error on Aiden Tackless. Keys scores from second. Shepler goes first to second. Dave Hoke initially threw up a stop sign for Keys, but then Tackless bobbled the ball out in right field, and Trent Keys heads up base running, stopped his momentum, and then picked it up again and scored. And Ben Sebastiani's been hit by a pitch. He's been on base 4 times, and he swung just once. 2 hit by pitches, 2 walks. Bases loaded for Sonoma. Colton Boardman will now have his 2nd at-bat with the bases loaded. He was hit by a pitch last time, and Colton seems to just come up with the bases juiced once every 2 games minimum.
Well, and that's a weird situation for him because the leadoff guy is typically known to not have a lot of run at RBI opportunities, but a great job there. Now as the Stompers tack on here, they need to continue to, have confident play against the Merchants. They've still got them 2 more times before the end of the season, and you're already down a pair of games. Would love to end up with a season split.
That one misses. That one was in there for a called strike. 0-1 pitch. Almost hit Colton Boardman. One pitch on the way. Misses low inside, 2-1. Yeah, the Merchants come back to Arnold Field on Tuesday, and then they wrap up the season series on July 13th. That's the last game for the All-Star break. Boardman hits one the opposite way and foul. That counts 2-2. Sebastiani from first, Pawlowski from second, Shepler from third. And that one way up and outside. The count runs full, 3-2. No place to put Colton Boardman. Bases full of Stompers. Just 1 out in the inning, which began with a Hegeman ground out, hit by pitch, single, hit by pitch, and now ball 4. The Stompers make it a crooked number in the 7th. And Roman, we've talked so much about how Sonoma has struggled to keep the offense rolling after getting early runs. That hasn't been a problem today. 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th, now 2 in the 7th, and the bases are loaded with just 1 out for Max Handren.
Yeah, he gets a second chance with the bases loaded. He popped out to left, didn't even get a sac fly there. It wasn't hit hard enough, but the Stompers have been able to score consistently, and it's paid off.
He swings first pitch and fouls it off the other way, 90 miles an hour in the zone. He was a little bit late. And Handren battling a labrum injury on the front labrum, so you see a lot of his swings end just one-handed, trying to take as much pressure off that front shoulder. Here, he's almost hit in that front shoulder. Goodness, 1-1. That was the 15th RBI for Boardman, the second on the day. Handren grabs it back to the pitcher, who's going to pump fake home and throw to first base. Mental mistake, Zane Bolts, and it's going to be an RBI for Max Handren on the fielder's choice. He pump faked home. I think there was a miscommunication with Winchell. That was a tailor-made 1-2-3 double play.
And that gets you out of the jam with only allowing a pair to score, but they just go to get 1.
Lazul swings and fouls it back, and Max Handren in his first game since June 19th has 2 RBIs today. That's a 1-3 fielder's choice. Not the sexiest of RBIs, but it's an RBI nonetheless. The 0-1 to Lazul, line foul 0-2. Paul's walk doubled, grounded into a double play and struck out. 1 for 3. Scoring on that one was Shepler. Pawlowski to third base, Sebastiani is second. No balls and 2 strikes. Lazul looking to add to what's already a big lead for Sonoma. He takes upstairs. San Francisco, after the managerial change, you mentioned a little pesky, is 7-4. They've already taken one from Sonoma this week. Sonoma has them down in San Bruno tomorrow, 6 o'clock start. Lazul takes inside corner, called strike 3. The inning is over, and Lazul's has a couple words for Dylan Brewster, but he'll head back to the first base dugout, and at least he'll get to stay in the ball game. But Sonoma keeps them coming, 3 runs, and they leave to 9-1 Sonoma. We head to the 8th. Zach Pace dips back into the bullpen for a man we've only seen in a starting role his last 3 appearances. That's Haroon Pelja, and the first pitch he sees is lined into left center field. Hegeman goes over to cut it off and hold the leadoff hitter Dominic Nahar to just a single. Luke Duncan gave up a single and a walk in a 2-strikeout shutout 7th. Pelja has made 5 appearances. 3 of them have been starts. That's the last 3, and he didn't give up an earned run in any of them. He's given up 2 earned out of the bullpen, though, in 8 innings.
And an interesting move here. It's a guy we expected to start tomorrow's ball game, but pitching here.
9-1 game. Runner goes. Pulowski throws to second on a hop. The tag kicks into center field. Nahar's going to try for third, and there won't be a throw. And the error has to be charged to somebody. I guess it will go against Pulowski.
Yeah, another great throw. It skipped in a couple times. The last skip it took went past Boardman and Libby.
9-1 Sonoma in complete control of this one. Pelja looking to just get these last 6 outs. He pitches, and it misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pelja, an ERA under 1 in 20 innings pitched. Just 2 earned runs allowed. Slides one in there, 1 and 2. Nahar singled on the first pitch of the inning, stole second, went to third on a throwing error by Pulowski. 1-2. Bounced foul towards the on-deck circle of Alameda, set up by the third base dugout. The count holds at 1 and 2 strikes. Pelja, fastball dominant guy, also works in a slider and a changeup. He's done a great job of working in and out of trouble so far this season. 1-2. Outside corner called strike 3 with a slider. Cy Turner doesn't agree, and he's letting Dylan Brewster know it. First strikeout for Pelja, and the 9th now for Sonoma pitching. 10th, beg your pardon. Nystrom now. Stompers infield obviously back. They lead by 8, willing to trade a whole bunch of runs for some outs. Pelja delivers, swing and a miss. It's not overpowering stuff from Haroon. That's just 87 miles an hour, but Jackson Nystrom couldn't catch up. The 0-1 pitch drops in there. That's the slider. Nice pitch, nothing in 2. A little surprised to see Pelja come out on this spot. Coming off 2 dominant starts. One of them against a very good Walnut Creek side. Is 0-2. Popped up foul. Paul Lazul is going to give it a look, but very quickly run out of room, and it drifts well out of play.
And the question it's not necessarily about who is available tomorrow. I mean, you've got, 7 or 8 arms that haven't thrown this week, but it's more about, it's a scrappy Seagulls team that's put together a couple of, really nice performances as of late. Pelja's been nails, not the guy you want to burn.
That one's bounced at the plate. Pelja ready to deliver now a third 0-2 offer to Jackson Nystrom, 0 for 3 on the day. Haroon comes set. The tall Australian right-hander delivers, and it hit him. Hit by pitch. Nystrom aboard for the first time, and now the Stomper middle infield will play for 2 on Aiden Tackless, who started his 20-25 summer 0 for 3.
Now batting number 36, Aiden Tackless.
Nathan Bunyard's up and loosening in the Sonoma bullpen. So Zach might just be going to a lot of different arms for just 1 inning. Pelja unwilling to come home. First pitch finally comes into Tackless, and it misses for ball 1.
Now a little rally here from the Merchants late, trying to make the most of their last 5 outs.
That one's lined over Colton Boardman into center field. RBI single Aiden Tackless, his first hit of the 2025 CCL campaign, his first RBI of the first CCL campaign, and it's a 9-2 ball game. Pelja doesn't look as comfortable out of a bullpen as he has his last couple appearances as a starter.
Yeah, and it's just a weird move. I mean, we were fully set on him being the starter tomorrow. Go down to San Bruno, get a big win to salvage what's been a tough week.
That would be to win the week tomorrow if these results hold.
It's just really interesting move here. Thought, settling in, you finally have a pretty consistent Stomper rotation. And, I mean, even just looking at who's gone this week, not a ton of reliable options to go tomorrow.
Pelja looking to throw his 13th pitch now here in the 8th. 1 in, 2 on, 1 out. Haroon checks second and comes home. That one's popped up left field. Ben Sebastiani struggling to see it in the light, and it'll be the center fielder, Cam Hegeman, who comes over to help his left fielder. Ben Sebastiani is struggling mightily to play left field this season for Sonoma. Seems like every ball hit up into the night sky is just a guessing game for Ben.
I don't know if he needs to come out and get some fly balls at dusk or what it is, but, lucky Hegeman was able to get to that one. You can't drop a fly ball with 2 on in the 8th.
Brings up the left-handed hitting Angelo Luna. Struck out, flew out, and bounced out. 0 for 3 up until this point. And Connor Pulaski is going to go out to the mound and have a conversation. Luna a lefty against Pelja a righty. We play in a 9-2 ball game. It's the visitors' half of the 8th inning. Runners lead from first and second with 2 away. Pelja stares in to Luna and delivers outside and high, 1-0. That's the first earned run Pelja's given up since June 13th. Looking to limit that damage to just 1. 1-0 is grounded to first. Lazul backhands it, flips to Pelja in time. It's 1 run on 2 hits and 1 left. Sonoma all over Alameda 9-2 after 7.5. McCann Libby leads off against a new arm. It's Eric Diaz, who closed out the game earlier this week. Walked 3, but McCann Libby looking for a little bit of revenge. Libby struck out with the bases loaded and 2 outs against this man right here, Eric Diaz. Not a pressure pitch this time, though, and Libby fouls it straight back to the screen. He has 7 games, 3 saves. This obviously not a save situation, and .207 earned run average in 8.2 innings. So a 1-2-3 inning here would lower that ERA below 2. That was a nice thing to put on a resume if you're trying to transfer. Would be late on 77, spoiled it over the Stomper first base dugout. It's 0-2. Stompers' offense has been strong today. 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, 3 in the seventh. Lone runs in the 5th and 8th for Alameda. The pitch is outside, 1-2 to Libby. McCann, a couple of singles, a ground out to the third baseman Turner, and a strikeout. He's behind 1-2 against Eric Diaz. A pitch, outside and low, 2-2. Bunyard's ready in the bullpen. I think Nathan will be tasked with the final 3 outs. It might be a 7-run lead, or it might be more. A pitch, low. And a nice job by McCann Libby to go from 0-2 to 3-2 against Diaz. Payoff pitch, Diaz to Libby. McCann bounces it back up the middle. Ranging over is Jeremiah. Fields it on the shortstop side of second and gets McCann Libby by less than half a step. McCann Libby threw his hands out. He thought he beat the throw. That brings up Cameron Hegeman. A single, 2 groundouts and a strikeout. 1 for 4 day for Hegeman. He now has a hit in 7 of his 8 league contests. A good start to his CCL summer. Started it a little bit late, though, and he fouls this one back, tardy on 89. Trent Keys on deck. He's walked twice and been hit by a pitch. Oh, 1. Hegeman takes low. Fastball 90 miles an hour. Riley Winchell, who put on a framing clinic on Wednesday. He must have stolen 5 to 10 strikes from Ricardo Rodriguez, the home plate umpire. Dylan Brewster not buying it on 0-1, and he's not buying it on 1-1 either. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Hegeman out ahead of Diaz. Trent Keys on deck. Diaz delivers a 2-1. Hegeman lines it hard but foul. It's been Murillo to Cristinzio to Cantrell to Bolts, and now Diaz. The Stompers side, Santabanez went 5 lone innings from Hahn, Duncan, Pelja, and we assume Bunyard. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Diaz to Hegeman, low outside, 3-2.
I'm going to be here from Hegeman.
Payoff coming. Hitting room on the pull side for Hegeman. He lines it back up the middle base hit. That's 90 miles an hour on the outer third. Hegeman goes out and gets it and pokes it right back up the middle. Second hit of the day for Cam.
That's a great piece. Just found the ball with a barrel. Shot it right over Eric Diaz. Brings the tower a bit.
That brings up Trent Keys, who grounded into a fielder's choice in the second inning. He's walked twice and been hit by a pitch since then. So technically 0 for 1, but he's been aboard 3 times and takes low 1-0. Trent Keys has a hit in his last 3 games. Tacked on his 6th stolen base. Scored a couple of times. A check on Hegeman, who's back to the bag safely. Hegeman 2 for 3 on steal opportunities thus far. Keys hits one the other way to left field. Nystrom has a long way to go, angling back, and he makes a running catch in the left field corner, crossing into foul ground. Trent Keys is retired on a fly out to the left fielder, Nystrom. And now Anthony Shepler comes in.
And that's a nice job tracking that one down. It looked like it had legs. It got pretty far out there and caught it just inside the left field line.
Shepler, a strikeout, a double play, a walk, and a single. He's scored 2 of the 9 runs for Sonoma. Second baseman Latimer plays in the hole. Shepler takes first pitch slider, called strike 1. The righty Diaz looking to end this inning here, and he misses inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. That's the fastball right at the knees, but just a half ball inside to Shepler. Stompers take on the San Francisco Seagulls tomorrow. The Gulls will be coming off an 8-4 victory today over Menlo Park. One, 2 to Shepler. Misses low and outside. That's a close pitch and a great take from Shepler. It's now back-to-back wins for the Seagulls. They had the 4th of July off, so that's dating back to a win over Sonoma a couple nights ago.
Yeah, putting together some good ball down the stretch.
2-2. Shepler hits a broken bat ground ball towards first. Diaz covers and wins the race. It goes 3-1. Stompers can't tack on anything more. We roll to the 9th inning. The Stompers, with more than enough cushion, they lead it 9-2. Braden Gens, the Stompers closer, 6'4", 215 pounds, finished up last season for the Pepperdine Waves. He's looking to transfer. I've heard he wants to go Ivy League to continue his baseball career. He's yet to give up an earned run out of the bullpen. All 4 earned runs allowed were as a starter. And he gets a first pitch ground ball to Boardman, who fields and can't get it out of his glove. That's the 5th error charged to the Stompers today. And now Gens has to get that ground ball again against Jace Jeremiah.
And it's the second on Boardman tonight, and I think it's his 3rd or 4th this week. Just an off week for, what had been one of the best gloves and arms in the CCL.
Fastball called strike to Jeremiah. Oh, 1 pitch coming from Gens. High, 1-1. Caleb Latimer, and then the top of the order, but much work to do. One, foul back to the screen. Gens, the Stomper closer. He has just 1 save, but he's pitched 9th innings in 4-run games. He also pitched an inning against these Merchants back on July 2nd. That was to make sure it stayed at a 1-run deficit. The Stompers would load the bases but lead them full. And so this is the first week where Gens is going to throw twice in 3 days. He's thrown twice in 4 days. That was back in mid-June. A check on first base. Here, Braden, you were pitching with a 7-run game. I just come home with it. Make them hit your best stuff, and no one's really been able to do that when Gens hasn't been in a starter role this year. This is a nice one for Sonoma. Knock on wood, they improved to 10-7 at home here at Arnold Field. That's in league play, obviously. An appeal to first, no swing. You snap a little 2-game losing streak. And in Zach Pace's mind, winning the week is so crucial. You improve to 3-2. You guarantee it can't be a losing week. You try to avoid a 500 week down in San Bruno. 2-2. That's grounded to Boardman at short. Diving play. Glove flip to second. Relay to first. How about it? 6-4-3 go the Stompers. And Caleb Latimer is now the last chance. Talk about atoning for your own error. Boardman flubs an easy play to Mateo Mendoza and then goes into a dive up the middle, gloves it, glove flip. And McCann Libby does the rest. That's one of the nicer twin killings we've seen all season. Latimer takes a slider, bends out of the way, but it finds the inside corner. Sonoma in a game where I think they felt a little bit of pressure coming in. They'd lost to these Merchants. They'd lost to the Seagulls. They were skidding a little bit in league action, have put on a dominant performance, and this should end it. Popped up, right side, Paul Lazul squeezes it, Stomps win. Nick Santavanez has led the Stompers to victory in all 5 outings he's made in league play. Santavanez improves to 4-0 on the season, 5 innings pitched, just 1 earned run allowed, and then the Stomper bullpen, Hideon Hahn, Luke Duncan, Haroon Pelcha, and Braden Gens all throw 1 inning each. The offense, Roman, what's our critique been all season long? They can't keep the runs coming through the middle innings. They did just that today.
Yeah, it was the consistent offense that really proved effective. 3-1-0-2-3. That's battling adversity, finding quality at bats, and not just finding the quality at bat, but finishing the quality at bat. We had a 2-out rally early in this one. Just a couple guys putting together a couple nice pieces. That was the third inning, an error, a hit by pitch, a double play, which wasn't ideal, but then a single, a double, and a single. That puts 2 on the board, 3 total in the inning. That's a great one there. The Stompers had that same mindset. We're going to continue to grind out the innings, get a run or 2 here and there. The pitching is going to be great, as it always is, and we're going to go win a ball game.
Yeah, the winning pitcher is Nick Santavanez. He improves to 4-0 on the season. Murillo, the loser, he drops to 1-1, no save in a 9-2 game. The Merchants fall to 12-6. Sonoma 16-11, and they are now in a virtual tie with Walnut Creek. It's a whole lot of teams up at the top of the CCL North. We're in for one fun stretch run for the playoffs, Roman.
Everything's heating up. The bats are coming around for what seems to be everybody. It's getting competitive down the stretch. You've got the All-Star break in about a week, but ultimately the next 2.5 to 3 are what really matter for every team in the CCL. It's the hot stretch, not the dog days. Competitive baseball to end the month, and we saw flashes of it tonight. I'm sure we'll see flashes of it tomorrow, and really just a competitive CCL layout.
Big one coming up tomorrow all of a sudden. It's a battle with San Francisco, and a game that you really want to win if you're the Stompers and keep this win streak going and win the week. The Merchants come here to Arnold Field on Tuesday, and then on Sunday, July 13th, the Stompers will take their last trip to the College of Alameda, a chance to win both of those and take the season series. But here today at Arnold Field, the Stompers get it done by the final score of 9-2. They improved to 12-6. Santavanez the winner, and Murillo the losers. We're back on the air tomorrow. That'll be at 5:50, the pregame show, 6 o'clock first pitch, radio only down in San Bruno. Sonoma gets a big win. They look to keep it going tomorrow when we get back on the airwaves. For Roman Raffelli, I'm Kieran Costa, signing off here on a Saturday night in Sonoma.